My name is Lambley, and this is my story. So I've grown up in Owasso, Oklahoma my whole life. Always been involved in sports, whether it's baseball, basketball, and football. Baseball has always been my love, and I've been playing competitive baseball since I was 7. When I was in 9th grade, I started school at Rejoice, and from the second I got there, I just loved everything about it. Just the environment where they put God first, and they can incorporate God in sports. It's just really special what they do. In my freshman year, I was still staying involved in sports, playing basketball, baseball, and football. Going into my sophomore year, I just turned 16 in July and was able to drive, and I was really excited about that because I was finally able to hang out with my friends more and just drive around, and that was a really good time. I've grown up in church my whole life, always gone to Central, and I came to Christ when I was in 2nd grade at this thing called Kids for Christ, and I just felt God tugging on my heart that day whenever the pastor was talking. His name was Ryan Golightly, and I accepted Christ that day, and ever since then, I always knew who God was. I knew the story and everything. I believed it, but I wasn't always running towards God. I was more focused on myself, and it wasn't until some stuff happened that I really realized I just really need God, and I can't do this life without Him. I remember the game like it was yesterday. We were playing Christian Heritage, and we were going throughout the game, and I started to realize my vision got blurry out of nowhere, and I started looking up at the scoreboard, and I realized I couldn't tell what the score was, so I started to ask some of my friends. They started having to tell me during the game, and during this time I was still playing receiver, outside linebacker, and a little bit of special teams. I was really just kind of confused. And then I ended up going to a local eye doctor the next day in Owasso. Because me and my dad just thought it was like just something simple, just like new prescription or something. And they had no idea what was going on. I started going to eye doctor after eye doctor, and they didn't know what was going on. All my central vision was gone, and I could just see peripherally a little bit. And the only way I could tell someone was coming is if like I heard their voice or something. Throughout this time, I started getting really discouraged and questioning God. And I remember there was a time where I asked God, like, can I just not have arms and legs? And I just want to be able to see again. This is like something you do like in a Bible story or something. Like, this doesn't seem like real life. Like, why would you do this to me? I finally got an answer whenever I went to Johns Hopkins, which is in Bethesda, Maryland. And they're one of the best eye clinics in the whole nation. And after about 2 hours there, they figured out what was going on. It was called Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy. It's a very rare eye condition, and going into this eye appointment, I just felt a certain peace because all the prayers everyone was praying for me, and my mindset changed from God, can you just change the situation, to God, can you change me as I go throughout this situation? And whenever I heard the result, I just knew that no matter what happened, God was gonna use the situation. And I remember just texting my friends saying, this is what I have, but it's gonna be okay. So when I got back to school and everything, my football coach pulled me in his office, and he just wanted to pray for me, because for him, he cares more about you as a person than anything you do on the football field. And one thing I just felt God was telling me was, no matter what, I can still play football. Since I can no longer play baseball, which has always been my favorite sport, and God's pretty much telling me, you have an opportunity to still play football. There was a kid for USC who was completely blind and still played. His name was Jake Olson, who has inspired me a lot, and if he can do it, I can do it. A verse that always sticks with me throughout this time is Jeremiah 29:11, which states, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, the plans to prosper and not to harm you, the plans to give you hope and a future. This verse just shows me that no matter what God throws at me, that vision or no vision, I can still glorify Him, and everything works for the good of God. You just got to give him a little faith. And I'm not saying every day is going to be good, because to this day I still have bad days, but God shows himself in those bad days. If I give him a little faith, he's really humbled me a lot and shown me that life isn't about sport. It's about just honoring him in everything you do.